Down was, that means, like, is he in the hospital? Is he in jail? Where'd you put him?
I capped that ass, man. He's dead.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't just say you just put him in the water system?
No.
He's just in the sewers?
Well, he's down there, I think. I think we got like a week.
You think? You haven't been checking?
Look, Hey guys, welcome back to the whoa. What the fuck? What happened to the set?
Oh my god. What is this place? Do you know what's going on?
This is dangerous territory, but let's just roll with it.
Okay.
Welcome back to the BadTakeDelete podcast show.
Hey,
I keep forgetting. We're a show now. We're not a podcast.
We're too visual.
If we catch you calling us a podcast, we will fucking kill you.
Yeah, this is no potting. We're not casting. This is a stream, if anything.
This is a show or a stream.
A good show.
Or both. Yeah.
But we got some important news. I don't know if you read in the news lately the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Are we talking about Batman instead?
I think we're more knowledgeable on that, so let's talk about Batman.
It's more relevant.
Anyway,
so what are we talking about today, Daph?
We're talking about The Long Halloween. This is one of the best Batman stories. Like, when someone says, I want to read a Batman comic, they probably say Year One, Hush, The Dark Knight Returns, or The Long Halloween. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. The Long Halloween was one of my first introductions to like the solo Batman stories, and I mean, it's not a hot take to say that it's one of the best.
That is a hot take.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting take here.
It's not a bad one, is it?
Nah, not a bad take.
So now, you read the comic while I watched the two movies, because in 2021, DC made a Part 1, Part 2 of The Long Halloween. They changed up a few things, which we'll get into, but I'm like, good. I'm glad it wasn't just one short film. I'd rather it be two films. You know?
It was interesting, yeah, what they did with I've seen the movies too, but I have no fucking recollection besides the changes they made.
Yeah.
Because they stand out. But what do we want to talk about first?
So let's talk about what The Long Halloween is about. It's a bit after. It's not the same canon as Batman Year One, but it's basically very early on in Batman's life as a detective, right? Back when he was just kind of beating up people, stringing them along, because at least in the movie version, they make reference to how Batman is a shitty detective. And like, you still don't know who the bad guy is. And even at one point in the movie, he's like, I didn't think I'd be doing detective work. It's like, Batman, that's mostly your character.
Yeah, that's no, I can't remember if that's in the comics or not. A big thing about this movie is it's very adult. I believe that Jeb Loeb, or I always pronounce his name wrong, Jeff Loeb, he's the writer. He said this is very inspired by criminal noir, like classic noir film. And you get that vibe immediately. This is a very adult story about caped crusaders and kryptonite.
And it's rated R.
And it's rated R. And oh, yeah.
So
shit's bloody.
So if you've ever seen The Batman, like the newest movie, it actually takes some inspiration from this, because this focuses mainly on the Carmine family, in which some iterations Bruce Wayne's dad, Thomas Wayne, actually worked with. You want to go into that?
Yeah, everything Batman related from Christopher Nolan to the recent one take heavy inspiration from this movie, because its relationship with crime families like the Falcones and the Carmines, and just the intricacies of that really flesh out the world in the comic, and so they inherit that into the movies. That's why, like in The Dark Knight Rises or the second one, you know, it's very much more focused on crime families and how they control the city, and that's a big inspiration from this comic.
And for our main characters, right, we have Batman, Harvey Dent, and Jim Gordon, right? They're trying to end the Falcone crime regime, and this is before Harvey Dent is Two-Face, and he's kind of get those twinklings of like, we gotta take them down, we know they're bad guys, and then Jim's like, but the law, and Batman's like, yo, we gotta follow the law, Harvey, we gotta follow the law.
My favorite thing about Harvey Dent's stories is that if they're ever with him prior to the Two-Face thing, it's never just that it's Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
You just know, all right, so a quarter of the way through the story or 3/4 of the way, he's gonna get his face fucked up. You just know it's coming, and you're just waiting for it. And actually, again, his story from this book is pretty much copied and pasted in The Dark Knight Rises.
In the first time, which we'll get into how this comes to be, the first time there's like an explosion, like Harvey Dent's face, and they don't show his face, and you're like, oh my god, is he Two-Face already? In part one, and then it reveals his face, and it's just normal.
Yeah.
And you're like, did he get plastic surgery? Was this not the blowing up the face scene yet? Why did they do this?
Doesn't his sister have her face blown off?
Wife. It's his wife in this one.
The wife does, yeah, and that's just like a weird bait and switch. It's like, oh, so she's Two-Faced, but then she's not.
No. And so the main plot of this, right, is a villain called Holiday, in which it's a killer that only kills on holidays. First question, which ones? There's a lot of holidays from
all of them.
Many different religions, like a bunch. Starting on Halloween, I believe it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, April Fool's, Easter, and it's like, Mr. Holiday, what about Hanukkah? You didn't want to kill anyone on that holiday? Does that not count for you?
Yeah, that's a statement, actually. I never thought about it.
It's like, Batman's talking to Harvey Dent and him. He's like, all right, so he didn't do anything on Ramadan. He didn't do anything on Hanukkah, so he's Christian.
Yeah, in retrospect, that kind of narrows it down a little bit. I don't even think about that.
Or any of the other holidays, like he killed on National Hot Dog Day.
If he hadn't been caught by the end of this, he probably would have kept going and started just like fucking around. Probably would have started doing shit like that. National Burger Day, everyone dies eating a burger. I don't know.
Yeah. So in this, a lot of the Carmine family and a lot of the people within it start to die, right? And so they try to go along and say like, well, who did this? Is it the Carmine family sending out hits on people? I got to get some answers. And so in this is one of the stories in which Batman works with Catwoman, you know?
Mildly. But yes.
You want to go into that?
So, Catwoman actually has an ongoing relationship with the Falcones, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And they actually bump heads at the start of the story because she's trying to rob them, or I think get back, or I think she's doing a hit. She's trying to kill Falcone.
No.
No, she's just robbing them.
Just robbing them. We'll get into why she matters to the Carmine family, but she was just robbing them first. She leads them to Catwoman, at least in the movie, leads them to a warehouse full of money, and they said, hey, we got to take this into evidence. But Harvey's like, well, they'll just get paid off. This would be back in Carmine's hands. And Catwoman says, what if you burn it? And so this is a pivotal point for Harvey Dent in this, because he does a coin flip. In the comics, Harvey Dent's dad gives him the coin. And in this one, Batman gives him the coin. 2 heads.
Which is interesting.
2 heads. So they flip it. They burn the money. More of the Falcone murders keep happening. It's a coincidence. Because first being killed on Halloween, like everyone dies on Halloween, you know? It's just the day to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Halloween.
And so the next thing that shows up is New Year's, in which the Joker uses deadly gas to try and kill everyone in Gotham Square. Do you want to go into why he tries to kill him? I'm going to that? Like,
I can't remember.
I'll be the one to say it. So Batman's like, why are you killing innocent people? And he's like, I'm not trying to kill innocent people. I'm trying to kill the competition. He's like,
that's right.
Now you can go into it.
Yeah, so the Joker is just pissed off that people are fucking taking the spotlight from him because he's supposed to be the #1 crazy cocksucker, you know?
Yeah.
So when some guy's stepping in on his turf, starts killing people, what do? You get a plane and you start fucking gassing people. You just start throwing gas in the city. I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
And
you know?
Within this, at least for the movie version, one of the most important aspects about the Joker is that he's funny. You know, that he's like a funny haha guy. He really wasn't in the film. He told some jokes. He wasn't like that funny. Was he funny in the comics? Did he make some jokes?
Yeah.
Some ha-has?
Yeah, I mean, he gets a couple zingers in, but he's not really a focus in the story. They kind of... The thing about the movies, as I understand, is that they obviously split it in half to make fit the whole story, but they also have to stretch parts of it.
Yeah.
Like, the Joker's part in the comic, I don't remember being nearly as long as it was in the movie. And I think that's just because, you know, the Joker sells.
And the killer, as we established his name, Holiday, specifically uses a nipple from a baby bottle on a silencer, like as a silencer, and leaves it at the scene of the crime. As well as like on Christmas Day, they left like a little tree. On New Year's Day, they left like a champagne glass, which you got to think of like being a serial killer. You gotta have like a, not just, it's not a motive. What's it called?
A motif,
a trademark. Do you think serial killers like study other ones? Like, oh, I can't do that one. Someone already took that one. Baby nipple bottle. Owns that one.
Yeah, during this, there's actually an untold story of the baby bottle killer who was getting ready to start like killing people, and he saw this in the news, and he threw his phone through the wall.
He's like, yeah, but I spent all this money on the baby bottles.
It's just him punching a hole through the drywall with like boxes full of baby bottle caps behind him.
Think of it like from Batman's perspective, like he has to deal with all these very specific. There's never just a normal killer who just shoots somebody. Like they always have to leave something or leave a trading card. He's like, where's the trademark?
It's not even the first guy, as the comic points out, he's not even the like first guy to do that.
Yeah.
They first assume that it's an existing Batman villain named Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Do they show Calendar Man in the cartoon?
Yes, he is a bald dude.
Yes. In this one, they make him look like they try to make him out to be like this. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter. Otherwise, in the comics, he's just a fucking loon. But in this one, they make him into like the Hannibal Lecter of the story. Mm-hmm. And shit, there's this. I don't know. No, it wouldn't be in it. There's this... I'll wait until we get to the end, but there's a cute scene in the comics I don't think they did in the movie with him.
I do like this iteration of him, because you can only go from up with fucking Calendar Man. A guy who had like a cape of calendars and shot calendars at Batman.
And what I get the impression from is that when they came up with the story for this, they then realized there already was a villain that had this like that this was his thing. So instead of just pretending he didn't exist, they at least like included him in like, a really interesting way, like you said.
I always like thinking of these super villain things like. Here, I'll be Batman, you be Superman, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Superman, I've been finding a lot of enemies, like lots of new bad guys.
Oh, yeah?
They're getting kind of stupid, one would say.
No, what do you mean?
Just recently, I faced Condiment King. He throws ketchup at people. Do you have anyone like that? Do you have anyone?
No, I just fight, like, robbers.
Oh.
And millionaires, and, like, evil clones of myself. You're fighting Condiment King.
Like he specifically said, "Mwahahaha, I want to fight Batman." Like, why did he pick me?
I don't know. I mean, my villains can like fly. Yours, I mean, I'm sure your villains can fly with powers.
I'm dealing with Counter King, Counter Man. He shoots counters at me. Is that something? Is that devious?
How do you even build a contraption to do that? That's how. What?
I need better villains.
You need to get out of Gotham, man. This is not good for your mental health. What? Jesus
maybe
Christ.
It's something in the water. doing something called to the villains. Does Metropolis have clean water?
Oh, you know what I mean? It might be poison the water supply, man.
You just have a guy named that? Is that all he does?
I'm just assuming you're gonna bump into him eventually. I don't even know if he exists, but if he did, he'd be in Gotham.
Yeah, probably.
That's funny. You know what? I never thought about that. Gotham is like supposed to be like the ghettos, the fucking darkest side of the world, like the most criminal-ridden area. It's all evil, and the villains that come out of there are Calendar Man, Kite Man, the Bad Samaritan. What the fuck are these people doing there?
Like, I'm sure.
Like,
wasn't where Todd is? Bloodhaven? Don't they have like scarier villains in there?
I don't even know. I don't even know what Bloodhaven villains there are. I think they're all like I don't know, scraps.
I think they named it Bloodhaven with a U, like a German word, so it's even cooler.
Yeah.
Like Bloodhaven. It's like, why would you live there? Gotham, I understand.
Like, let's call it Bloodhaven. It's like, that's a little on the nose, but what if we spell it differently? Oh, okay. Well, now it's not as Welcome to Bloodhaven. I am Sinatwing. Welcome to Bloodhaven.
It means strawberries.
And Batman.
So Batman defeats the Joker, right? They're talking with the Calendar Man. He's like, "Well, Batman, do you need my help?" Because he's doing calendar stuff. And I guess people just talk to him or something like. Because Calendar Man knows a bunch of shit. Like, he's a super smart guy, I guess, but everyone just loves to talk to him, you know? I guess he just knows all the information.
Well, I think it's because he has, like, an encyclopedic fucking... This is actually very reflective of the character of Hannibal Lecter, where it's pretty much you talk to him because he has such a knowledge of, calendar holidays, so that he might be able to pick, what next holiday would be up, right? Because, like, which one would he choose next? And Hannibal Lecter played the same role in them trying to take down a serial killer, right?
And that does...
So they pretty... Yeah, he fulfills the same role.
And all while this is happening, Batman's in his cave going like, who could it be? Could it be this Falcone? Could it be this Maroni? I think that was the other person's, like, the other family's name. And he blacked out Harvey Dent's face because he's like, I don't even want to think that possibility that this guy, this very mentally stable guy that seems to hate the law sometimes, couldn't be him.
A big theme, and again, I always have to mention that this is very much recycled in The Dark Knight Rises, is the importance that Harvey Dent plays in Batman's eyes.
Yeah.
He represents the good man, and in a world where more men like him exist, there's a chance for Gotham, at least in his perception.
Yeah.
So the idea of Harvey Dent being one of these people deeply troubles him, to, like you said, to the point where he's not even willing to suspect him, even though as the story progresses, we learn that might have actually been the right course of action.
And a major difference between the comics and the visuals, I was about to say like the visual novel or something, the cartoon, is who Holiday is. Because in the movie, while they're on the Falcone yacht, Falcone's son Alberto is killed by Holiday.
Yeah.
Which is different because in the comics, he was one of the suspects. Provably so.
Interestingly enough, there are two Holiday killers.
Yeah.
Technically. No, actually, there's more. There's more than one. Yeah, there's three.
Some of it.
And
you want to get into the comic a little bit about
that? Yeah. before we do finish up, I do want to say, if you have watched the cartoon and you like the story, I really highly suggest you read the comic.
Yeah.
Because the art by Tim Sale, and I'm not saying the cartoon looks bad, and it is stylized to an extent.
Yeah.
It's definitely inspired, obviously, but there is nothing better than the art in this book. It is so colorful, minimalist, both minimalist while also having insane detail. You'll have scenes where there's like a basic background with the colors just perfectly matching the tone of the scene, and then you'll have a scene of the Joker flying over the city, like a 2-page spread.
Yeah.
It's a really the art in the book is beyond compare. It's some of the best.
So in the comic book, it's implied, at least through all the research, because we don't technically find out who does exactly which killings. It's suspecting that Alberto did some of them, Harvey Dent's wife did some of them, and Harvey Dent himself did some of them.
Exactly.
But in this, Alberto gets killed. So if you read the comic and watch this, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? That was him.
I did like that. I mean, obviously I would have liked it to be exact, and I would like to see an iteration sometime in the future. It won't happen, but where it's more loyal to the book.
Well, we can't, because in the book, the Riddler dies, and in the Long Halloween, the cartoon, this is part of the Tomorrowverse, in which it's a whole thing of movies, so it's like, we can't kill the Riddler just yet.
Nope.
Speaking of...
Which is... The
Riddler, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, everyone leaves. Everyone escapes the prison. Well, we don't see the Riddler in this one. In the comics, everyone leaves. Here's another split between the comic version and the movie version. In the comics, Poison Ivy convinces with her plant powers Bruce Wayne, because she doesn't know he's Batman. Spoilers, he's Batman. To help launder Falcone's money. In the movie, Bruce just signs over all of his assets to Falcone, and Catwoman saves him.
Yeah, it's a quick way, but there's also she doesn't just take control of Bruce Wayne. I think it's not in the cartoon. She actually controls fucking Superman.
Oh.
And yeah, that's in the comics. She mind controls Superman and has him fucking try to kill Batman. Like that just straight up happens in the fucking book.
Does she do it?
Yeah, he dies. Batman dies halfway through the book.
Oh my god,
There's actually 3 Batman in the story.
Oh. They're not even like a Robin, it's just a guy.
Yeah,
named
let
Batman.
me fact check that though.
Yeah, double check that. Don't spoil it if that's true or not. And so one of the pistols found after the April Fool's holiday, because Catwoman saves him because she's like, where is Bruce? Where is he? Which is different because in the cartoon, Catwoman knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but it's kind of suspected, it's kind of hinted in the comics that she knows.
I'm so wrong.
Yeah?
That Superman scene is from a completely different book, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well.
I am so stupid. It's a similar story, though. She takes control of him with the fucking leaf powers, and they duke it out, but that's in a different story.
So they go to Chinatown, right?
Whoa.
Holiday.
Yep.
Yeah, Holiday. They find the bullets. They're like, oh, we found like this nice little neighborhood in Chinatown where they probably made it. The gunmaker is dead, right, as Holiday's victims on Mother's Day. And so they try to follow up what's going on. And I was thinking to this, and I was like, JJ, does Batman go to Chinatown very often? Does he go there a lot?
That's his favorite place. He says it. Yeah, he says it all the time.
All the time. I'll be
a
citizen of Chinatown, and you be Batman. Oh shit! It's Batman. Holy. Oh my god, did you just hurt those guys? What? Oh my god.
I like Chinatown.
Really? This is only the second time you've been here.
Ever. I fought Superman in a completely different book than The Long Halloween. I just want to clarify that. I love Chinatown, though.
Really? Because we have a lot of serial murderers, and you kind of just don't want to show up here for some reason.
Daft, I want to abort this bit, Daft. I'm hitting the panic button on my desk. I don't know where this goes. You
don't want to do the Batman doesn't visit Chinatown for racist reasons?
I can't think of why. No, I don't know why I'm so against it. I don't know why. What's tickling me?
No, because when I saw them go to Chinatown, I'm like, oh yeah, because this is supposed to be New York City. This is supposed to be a New York stand-in. In a lot of the visuals of Gotham, it's just kind of like the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not really districts he goes to specifically. It's just kind of like the city. That's weird.
Yeah, all the cities in DC Comics kind of are homunculuses of multiple cities, depending on what the story wants to tell. So if they want a downtown district like out of New York, you'll have that in a Metropolis, Gotham, Central City, wherever it is.
Yeah.
It's just like Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven would technically be like Jersey, but it's
all of Jersey.
Not. Just the parts that are, I don't know, the people place that matters.
The state of Bloodhaven.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I call Jersey.
In the DC Comics, the 50 United States, you got like Texas, you got California, you got fucking Bloodhaven.
Yeah. Marvel doesn't give a shit. They just say it's New York.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to deal with it.
Like, we don't want any interesting areas in here. We're gonna call it fucking New York.
You want interesting? Go to Asgard. If you want to go to the city, it's New York, bitch. It's not called fucking Light Bulb City or some shit. It's just New York.
And so in the movie, right, Harvey Dent and Commissioner Gordon go to Bruce Wayne's house because they're like, hey, you didn't come off the boat, and also your dad works with the Falcones. Are you sure, like, you're not doing anything bad against that?
Yeah. So this is a big revelation to Batman in this book, as I'm pretty sure that he comes to realize that his dad had dealings with these crime families, which ties him into the crime family, which puts his whole morality into question, because now he has these attachments to them, and I don't know where to go from this.
At least in the movie version, he's like, Thomas, yeah, my father did help him build some, schools, did help build some medical hospitals and everything, but he wasn't part of the business. And he's like, the sins of the father should not weigh on the son. He's like, I don't do any of that shit. I'm just a regular businessman. And so, obviously, because he was fucking Batman on the boat. Well, he wasn't fucking Batman. He is Batman. He was on Batman as a boat. And he's like, where'd you go to? And he's like, oh, I took a dinghy. I think that's what they called. I took a little boat with some lady friends, and their husbands don't like me. And
classic.
To get out of this, they're like, oh, they're going to be watching me this whole day. And Alfred's like, you gonna stay in? And he's like, nope, just pay off more bribes, pull off more people to say I was hanging out with them.
Hell yeah.
And it's like, I guess that works. Do you think he does that a lot for Batman?
Yeah, all the time. I'm pretty sure he just...
Do you think that ever catches up with him?
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably a day where he gets a doorbell ring and, like, there's a crowd of people waiting for him there.
Waiting for their money? The bank transfer.
Yeah, just like everyone's looking at each other like, oh, did you take a dinghy with Bruce Wayne apparently? Yeah.
Yeah, because he had like a full list of like 25 people going like, all these people saw me, and it's like, did none of them want to talk to each other and be like, hey, why do you think he's doing this? Why do you think he keeps paying this off?
Someday a police officer's gonna go up to him, Mr. Wayne, there are not enough dinghies in Gotham for you to continue. You were in the bathroom and disappeared. Batman shows up, you came back, you said you took a dinghy. I don't even know how that works.
He's like, no one saw a Batman boat or a Batman plane. You couldn't, like, Batman can't swing there. He's not a Spider-Man, whatever that is, because we're DC.
We don't know what that is. That's from New York, whatever that place is.
Like, how did he get there? Bruce Wayne, the only guy unaccounted for, also the death of one guy.
He took a dinghy.
He took a dinghy. I took a dinghy.
God damn it. Well, it's not like he has people that are going to corroborate that. Two hookers. Damn it.
Damn it. Soliciting? Yes.
Yes.
He's like, oh yeah, because prostitution is legal in Gotham. We forgot you specifically, Batman. I mean, Bruce Wayne. I don't know your Batman. Bruce Wayne.
Batman could stop it if he wanted to, but he just hasn't.
The prostitution?
Yeah.
Do you think he cares?
That's one of his powers.
Wait, his power is to stop prostitution? Like
Yeah.
He goes up to a person and says, you do not want to have sex with this woman and pay for it. And the guy's like, oh, I guess I don't. That is illegal.
If he just wags his finger at a prostitute, they'll just go home.
That reminds me of the...
It's simpler just to say he doesn't have any powers.
There's this underutilized power for Superman in which he can kiss people and make them forget shit. Remember that?
Isn't that just in the movies?
Yeah. I'm like, you should use that more often, Superman, if that works and they stop being evil.
The movie counterparts had so many fucking cool-ass powers back then. There was a power, I remember Supergirl has this ray that just rebuilds, like, the Great Wall of China. It's like, okay,
well, that's all the ray can do. Only specifically the Great Wall of China.
It only works on wall. It can only reconstruct walls, and it can't build new walls, just reconstruct them. She has to stare at them the whole time.
Oh, God. I just thought of an awful skit that would not be funny or work.
Oh.
Hey, Supergirl, remember that, is like, the mayor? You remember that ray that helps rebuild stuff?
Yeah, it's my Supergirl voice.
Well, as you know, it's September 12th, 2001, and something happened. Do you think you can rebuild anything for us? Anything specific?
I would, but that's in New York.
Oh.
And I'm not there. I'm in not New York.
I thought Supergirl and Superman was a man of the people. Of everyone.
Certain people.
Speaking of, you haven't come to Chinatown recently.
You know, I didn't actually fight Batman in that book. That was a completely different other story.
So in the movies, right, Alberto's dead. And finally, Dent is Two-Face. Like, he's starting to get some brain aneurysms, and he's getting the voice in his head. Because he finds some guy to actually testify against the Falcones, the rival family.
Yeah.
He gets him in court, and the famous scene in which the guy just has acid. Because you can just buy that. You know,
thrust it at his face, yeah.
Burns
half his fucking face off.
And he says the Falcone sends his regards, or someone sends his regards, and the guy gets arrested, and he's like face burned a lot. And it's like, oh, now he's finally Two-Face. Like, they can't fake it out again. Or turns out, oh, no, he got plastic surgery. He's good now.
He's all good. He's chill.
Oh no,
He's chill as fuck.
that reminds me of a very. We skipped over this guy. I wanted to point out because it's fucking funny. So there's this whole dialogue of Harvey Dent and his wife being a bit separated, not separated and divorced, but like separated like emotionally. And so one night on, I think it was Christmas, Harvey comes back and the Joker's in there, you know, because he wants to kill Harvey. And he's like, "Ooh, it's me, the Joker. I'm doing jokery things." And Harvey says, "My wife? Is that you?" It's like, what? What?
Honey, I'm home.
Yes, going to kill you.
Aw, dear. Don't be like that. Don't be so sour.
You're doing your classic Joker impression that I love. No, it just caught me off guard. Like, remember in The Dark Knight when Harvey was in the hospital and the Joker has like a face mask on? And then he takes off the face mask, and then Harvey realizes it's the Joker.
That's the funniest scene in the world. His face is like just covered in paint. His eyes are all black. His hair is all greasy and shit. He just takes off this face mask, and Harvey's like,
So, do you think this happens a lot to Harvey? Like, he keeps confusing random people with the Joker?
He probably confuses a lot of people with the Joker, and then when he finally sees the Joker, he thinks he's his wife.
And so, at the very end of this, they finally piece together who it might be, and who they might kill next. And so, during the family fights and everything, they go to the Falcone, like the dad and everything. Which, does he have a cool scar in the comics? I know at least in the movies.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he has the triple scar that he got from Catwoman.
Very cool scar. And at this point, a lot of people are showing up. A lot of characters are showing up. And watching this on your own, like originally it's just, oh, there's Catwoman, there's Batman, there's some fighting stuff or whatever. Solomon Grundy shows up. Poison Ivy shows up. All these characters show up. Like, oh my god, I thought this was gonna be a simple mob story. Why are these characters showing up?
Yeah, it's the big shebang at the end. I don't think that happens in the comics. I gotta double check.
It's less of the shebang kind of thing and more of a, when you do Batman as like a character, it's kind of all or some. You know, like, how serious do you want this to be? Like in the Dark Knight trilogy, the most that we got was maybe Ra's al Ghul coming back and Bane being who he is. Like, that was the most that we might have. I think for the Batman, we might get Clayface, which is fucking interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
The point is, like, how wacky you're gonna get. So Solomon Grundy shows up during the Chinatown stuff, and he's like, he's like, bored on a Monday. And Batman's like, don't worry, I'll take care of him, and you'll be here all alone. Because remember, Solomon Grundy can't die. Or at the very least, it takes a while to die. And I was thinking of this, and it's just like, I'll be Commissioner Gordon, you be Batman, okay?
Okay.
Batman, did you take care of the Solomon Grundy guy terrorizing the town?
Yeah, you know, I've stopped him. He's down for now.
Down was, that means, like, is he in the hospital? Is he in jail? Where'd you put him?
I capped that ass, man. He's dead.
Oh, really? Like,
yeah.
You wouldn't just say you just put him in the water system?
No.
He's just in the sewers?
Well, he's down there, I think. I think we got like a week.
You think? You haven't been checking?
Look, he's gonna come back. I don't know how to explain it to you.
He's gonna come back.
He's just gonna keep coming. I don't know how to stop it, really.
Have you tried feeding him rats once in a while?
What do I look like? I've tried everything. You think I haven't tried every fucking option? I fed him rats, I fed him mice, I fed him hamsters. Didn't have to do that third one, I don't think, but I tried.
What about Metropolis? Have you tried sending him there? It's not like he's gonna know.
No.
He's Solomon Grundy.
He keeps getting lost.
In the sewers?
Yeah. I don't even know how he keeps ending up there. I mean, there's not a lot of sewer systems between here and Gotham, or Metropolis, or...
Damn, I guess...
I don't like going to Chinatown very often, I'll be honest.
I guess we gotta tell people not to go in the sewers.
We have to tell them that?
There's a Frankenstein in the sewers. Don't go down there.
Yeah, Killer Croc down there, Solomon Grundy down there.
Wait, you put Killer Croc down there too?
I didn't put him down there. He's just kind of like the natural place he'd find himself in. I mean, we should probably put signs out, you know, to people exploring the sewers. Don't do that.
Maybe we gotta start hiring Deadshot to take care of these guys, because you're not cutting out Batman.
All right, good luck. I don't even know which version you're talking about, but good luck.
The Will Smith one.
Ooh, no, yeah, he's good.
No, I just thought of that, and it's just like, okay, I guess he's just gonna be down there now. Forever.
Yeah, that's just how he is. Batman fucking gives him food for Thanksgiving, just doesn't care.
And so, during this whole ending, we're at the end, by the way, we skipped a lot because we want to let people watch it, read, and everything. Except for this fucking spoiler. It's revealed that Catwoman is the illegitimate daughter of the main Falcone guy.
Bum, bum, bum.
And this was carried over in the Batman movie.
Yep.
And it's actually carried over in a lot of stories where she's part of the Carmine family. She resents them because they're the mob guys.
Yeah, so up until this, throughout the entire story, like I said, it's very inspired by film noir. So when you're taking the comics of Batman and trying to convert it into a film, you gotta look for the stories that translate well into film.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best examples, which is why it so heavily influences. The influences are like so obvious when you watch movie. If you read the book and go watch any of the movies besides maybe the Zack Snyder shit, you'll see the inspirations. It's everywhere.
Yeah, because in this one, Batman is truly stumped because he's like, who did this shit? Because this isn't year 1. This is more, it's probably like year 3 of Batman. He's got like a lot of his rogues gallery going on. And he's like, I gotta figure this shit out. I gotta see who's doing this. I gotta stop them. But also at the same time, it's like, well, they're killing bad guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a very cannibalistic thing. By the end of it, like, they figure out to an extent what it was, but they never actually know. There's no way of it. They can only assume who the other killers were. They can only guess.
In the film version, Harvey does a coin toss on whether or not he kills, the main guy. Because throughout the film, he's had this double personality. And specifically in the hospital, he says, or Two-Face, I'll say Two-Face is like the amalgamation of his brain. He's like, Harvey, why don't you let me take over? I can finish what you started. And so during the film, Harvey thinks he's the killer, at least this other amalgamation form of him. And so when he kills the Falcone father, he's like, well, if I'd done it before, I'll just keep doing it. But you know what we found out?
Yeah. What?
It wasn't him. In this version,
nope.
the movie version, he wasn't the killer.
Not at all.
Who was it?
It was his wife.
Now, here's an interesting difference. The motivation of her killing the people differs. It's still some of the baseline. So Alberto married her originally. They literally had a kid, and the Falcone father said, we can't have this. So they terminated the pregnancy, and they got a divorce. And by terminating pregnancy, I literally mean abortion. They got an abortion and everything. And so throughout the film, they keep referencing how they want a kid, that they can't have a kid, because she has emotional hangups on the last relationship, because she still loves Alberto to an extent, never truly moving on. As in the basement, I'll show up on screen, they still have the Oxford pen, and Batman's like, hey, did Harvey go to Oxford? No, it was his wife and Alberto, which was referenced earlier when Selena was talking to Alberto and he said, yeah, I went to Oxford. So it was nice. Like, I always like a good thriller, a good detective thing where you actually see the shit coming together and you're like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's very like you look back at the baby bottle and it just starts all connecting dots there.
Yeah, you point at the screen, you're like, oh my god, she can't have baby because baby shit. Oh my, that's the baby bottle. Batman couldn't figure it out. We should be detectives, not Batman.
A big in the comics, as obviously now we know Alberto was the killer primarily. Obviously Harvey and his wife still did play a part in it.
Yeah.
But for him, it was just a matter of, and they built this up in the movie too, so you could have seen it going either way.
Yeah.
He is belittled throughout his entire life in the family, and as he makes clear to his father in prison once he's arrested, because he lives, he just explains, he's like, well, now look at this, Dad, you guys can do whatever crime shit you want to do. I'll always be bigger than you. I was the holiday killer, the long Halloween bitch.
For a lot of the gun stuff, it's very important in the movie, and I'm sure it's in the comics, that Harvey doesn't own a gun because he was denied a permit due to psychological exam. And even the gun that was given to him by Gordon, the police issued one, was the wrong caliber. So he couldn't have done all the murders as deduced by Batman.
Exactly.
And so at the very end of the movie, Batman just talks to Gilda, his wife, and says, is Holiday done? Did you kill or do whatever you need to do? He doesn't arrest her or anything. He just says, you killed bad guys. It doesn't really count. But the motivation is different. In the comics, I believe, she wanted to have a gang war between the two families just so they would kill each other. And so Harvey would have more time at home.
Yep.
And in the movie version, she just wants him at home. There's a very specific motivation that she had. I think it was something along the lines of killing the people that do the most damage so he has less work to do, which are very important, two different distinctions for this.
I do like that Batman has the conversation with her and just acknowledges that she did that.
Yeah.
But isn't going to do anything against her, because it kind of like highlights the fact that there are no goods in this world. Even him, because Harvey was that, that gold standard that he was hoping for. But, he succumbed to the darker, intense inside of himself, right?
Yeah.
But even Batman's not more, he's a morally gray area too, because even though he agrees with her or understands why she did it, he's still not acting according to the law. He knows what she did, but he's not going to do anything. And that's what I'm saying. It's there's no morally good character in this story.
And Harvey was right. I mean, even if they did arrest the Falcone people for, the things of money, like the big old things of money or anything of the sort, they would have gotten out because they paid off officials.
Yep.
Like, obviously, some other family's going to come in, or they're going to combine families, so something's going to happen. So, in the small term, sure, this did fix the issue, but long term, will he truly know the damage? Gordon even says this in the movie.
It's a fantastic read.
We got to do.
What?
Some responses and questions. So I asked the people, like, this week we're talking about The Long Howling. What'd you think of it? And so we got the classic, Mace Rockfather 666. I liked the movies, but part 2 is outclassed by having DC showcase Blue Beetle as an extra on the Blu-ray. Did you watch that? Did you watch the Blu-ray? The Blue Beetle?
The Blue Beetle?
Yeah, the Blue Beetle Blu-ray DC showcase.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that in, they had that bit on Max on its own.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. Yeah, I love that so much.
Which version of the Blue Beetle was it? Because I didn't see that one.
If I remember correctly, it was the parody of the 60s, 70s art style.
Oh, that's
It was
fun.
a Blue Beetle. Yeah, it was Blue Beetle animated like it was a Super Friends. Like, they even had, like, cell error, like, on purpose animation errors and shit like that. It's really good.
I guess I'll have to check that out. That's, thanks for telling me about that comment. It's pretty cool. Slim Jim, 4953. Both are great. The comic is way better, but the movie has better fight scenes in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighting
Yeah,
in the movie.
the art that was used in the book doesn't really play to to the fights, and so obviously they flesh them out in the movies. And there are more fight scenes just outright in the movies, but I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. The book is really supposed to be more of the mystery and like the gunplay and things like that. It's just the comics setting, whereas the movie is kind of a hybrid.
The movie is less ambiguous in who did the killings, which is definitely a different tonal shift.
Yeah.
Because if this is Batman's like one of his earliest years of doing detective work, he wouldn't outright know who did the shit. Like he'd still have to figure it out. He probably comes back to it.
He didn't even know what his dad was doing in relation to these gangs until the story. So he's still very young. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
And if you remember, this is actually a comic in a comic series. If I remember correctly, there was a couple of follow-up comics like Batman Haunted Night and Batman the Dark Knight Halloween specials. And Dark Victory.
Yeah, yes.
But we'll talk about them. We'll talk about those another time.
Yeah.
We got 2 more. Generic content says amazing. It's a bit like Arkham Knight. This story is actually referenced in. Go on.
I would say it's the other way around.
Yeah. Well, as we said before, this comic was not vaguely referenced. It was it inspired the Batman, but also inspired some video game stories. It's even referenced in the Arkham Knight. I think they said this reminds me of the Holiday Killer that we dealt with. Stuff like that.
Yeah, this story is also, and I don't know if this is like entirely true, but I get the feeling that this story was a huge inspiration for another Batman comic called Hush.
Yes.
Which that character even shows up in the story, and they actually kind of expand on that idea that that Bruce's parents had a relationship with these crime families, whereas actually he was a doctor that was taking care of these people as they were shot up, right?
Yes.
And that was then also taken into the Batman movie.
And in the new Batman Adventures, the episode Mean Seasons adapted some of the elements, notably the antagonist committing crimes every holiday.
The Mean Seasons.
Mean Seasons.
That's like a Kids Bop version of the fucking story.
Yeah, they can't really like murder people as they did in this rated R comic.
No, let's do fucking like tomatoes at them.
And I'm going to bring this question from our server, our Discord server, in which you can visit and support.
Yeah, link below.
Pac-Man 8 My Ghosts, and the 8 is like the number 8. Very clever, very like that. What's your opinion on the current state of a shared universe phenomenon in media, entertainment, and literature? It's often being used now to elevate each project or entry in whatever universe, in parentheses, even if the kind of entry is bad, in parentheses, so that the audience is built in and their interest and hype is rather high, rather than risking having to form a new audience. What do you think of shared universes?
Are they saying a movie is canon to the events of a comic?
There's been a recent phenomena where they can't just release a film. Like the John Wick movies, John Wick 1 through 4, they're now having a mini-series called The Continental. That's a shared universe.
Okay. So yeah, they mean like with Marvel, with the TV shows and all that.
We can talk about the TV shows.
I haven't seen any of those new ones, man. I stopped after.
No, I don't give a shit about
season.
that. I'm gonna tell you this great thing that'll make you realize a ton of shit.
Yeah.
Thanks to the actor strikes and the writers got their deal, we found out some very important information.
Like what?
The Marvel shows had no showrunners.
Oh yeah,
they had no pilots.
That was a weird weird revelation to just outright say. Here's the new Marvel strategy. We're gonna go in with a fucking clue of what we're doing. We're gonna try that and to see what happens. Like, what the fuck? You haven't been doing that?
Which implies that these episodes were written by executives, because for Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse Part 2, the ending was finished 6 weeks before like it came out, which is partially why the film felt like it kept ending. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, it ended right here. Oh no, still more. And so I read that, and we're not having a limited series anymore. We're having like full seasons. And originally, the Daredevil Born Again was gonna be more like a court procedural, and they canned that. And it's like, people liked the Netflix Daredevil series because he was also out of his costume because he's a fucking lawyer.
Yeah, but they also said that he wasn't gonna be in costume.
Yeah.
For the until the third episode.
That's fine.
Like that's just no. I agree with that. They had to pull the plugs on that. I don't know what their plan was, but just I think what's happening now is they probably were gonna do a Daredevil show that was gonna be serviceable. It was gonna be like the same kind of shit as like the Falcon and the Loki and all that.
Yeah.
And they probably are seeing after She-Hulk and this last
Loki season 2, I guess.
Yeah, and fucking Agents, whatever that show was with
Agents
Nick
of
Fury.
Shield. No.
Those Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, you know what happened? I'm telling you, that show came out, bombed, and they looked at everything and said, we have to nuke it all. Nuke it all.
It bombed so hard that the first 3 episodes of Secret Invasion were put on Hulu to be like, hey guys, look at this cool Marvel show. Do you want to see it? But if you want to watch the rest, you got to come to Disney Plus.
Such a soulless corporation. I'm not gonna watch a single fucking episode. I've seen the clips and it's just like comedy. I saw the ending.
Yeah. Well,
the ending.
Just tell us what happened.
From what I don't even know what the context is. It's just they have the fucking this character that so the scrolls can change into anyone, and I guess sometimes they can mimic powers.
Yeah.
And they have this one girl just come in to fight Super Skrull, who's like he's got like a bunch of the powers, and she just has every fucking power from every character, from Hulk to Groot to Thor to fucking Captain Marvel, and she just kills this guy, and then she flies off, and you realize immediately either she will never show up again or they're gonna have to nerf the fuck out of her, because like where do you go from introducing the literal like god, like they're just god, what the fuck, what point, what is there a point in any story now that she exists?
That reminds me, we're getting to a tangent, but I'll wrap this up very, very soon for us. Captain Marvel, when she was introduced in, Endgame and everything, and even before the movie of Captain Marvel 2019, I was like, you should have introduced her after Thanos, because she's basically the space Superman that can kill anyone. Yeah. Like, she should have killed Thanos super easily.
Yeah, did not make sense. I think it's like having like the Justice League movie and then including fucking like Dr. Manhattan. Yeah. And it's like, why are we like, what does it matter? What is any of this? Why would I watch any of this and be like, where's Dr. Manhattan?
Where is he? What's he been up to?
Where's his blue Smurf dick at? Just send him in there. Let him touch him in the forehead. Turn into fucking cubes. Yeah. Whatever you got to do. Does that answer your question?
That was the long Pac-Man. Halloween.
Yeah, that was blue Smurf dick. Long Halloween.
Batman's favorite villain, Blue Smurf Dick.
Blue Smurf Dick.
I was just fighting this bad guy named Blue Smurf Dick.
I quit. That's it.
I'm not doing this. Robin can take over.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Bloodhaven, whatever the fuck it is, a German cunt.
I hope if you like the video, like and subscribe, join the server.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Bye.